guys? Welcome back to another episode of Your Average Girl Talk, where we aim to gain and give different perspectives on unpopular opinions and uncomfortable topics. A quick thank you to everyone watching and tuning in and supporting, because I appreciate you guys literally more than you know, so thank you for that. And if you guys can relate or like or into any of the topics that we've covered so far, definitely make sure you share with a friend, pass it along, all that good stuff. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about trying to break, we'll call them generational curses for right now. Yeah. And that's curses as far as maybe your family didn't have as good of an upbringing maybe, and wasn't able to provide for you like you needed, things of that nature, and what we're able to do to pretty much break those curses and set yourself up and your future family up for success. So, a little bit deeper today or whatever, but that's
a little deep.
Fine. Okay, but it's okay. I'm here for it, and we're here to talk about it, okay? And my guest today, I'm really excited because, one, she's really dope, okay? And two, I've known her for a hot minute, and we've been talking about collabing, and it's finally happening, so I'm excited to introduce Carly.
Hi, guys.
Okay, look at her hair. First of all, I'm really trying to get on her level. Like, if only you guys understood, like...
I'm all about the curls.
The curl journey.
Yep.
I love it.
Didn't you start a curl? Didn't you?
Girl, yes, I had to do this big chop and get rid of all of it, and now, I mean, this is all brushed out. I cheated. Cheated
this
for
is
the
length.
Shrinkage, but we're here, so.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
I love
your
your hairs.
Thanks.
Make sure you guys, of course, I'm gonna add her IG handle in the description, but make sure you guys follow her because she has a whole bunch of like beauty tips, tricks, hacks, and everything. Like, she's the one to go to. So
I'll be on it. I'm
period.
Like a beauty wizard, hair wizard, whatever you want to call me.
Say that.
I'm that for you.
I am that. So before we tap into it, why don't you just kind of like tell us about you in a nutshell, what you do and day-to-day life.
My name's Carly, and I currently work at a salon, like, obviously all about the hair. I actually just started not too long ago. I really, really love it.
Cute.
I didn't know what I wanted to do at first, like if I wanted to maybe start doing hair myself.
Okay.
So I just kind of thought maybe I'll dip my toe in the water.
Yeah.
See how it works for me.
Feel it out.
Yeah, feel out the vibe there.
I like
and
it.
Who knows? Maybe you guys will see me at hair school.
Period. Come on now.
And then y'all might get some curly cuts from Curly Carly, okay?
And I will be up first because Lord knows I cannot go to any freaking hair salon and have them cut my hair the way that I need it.
No, I get so scared. They don't get it.
They don't get it. They don't understand layers and volume. They want like flat back Betty, and I don't want flat back Betty. I don't like. They just don't get it. So I'm really excited for you because that's like a whole new journey in itself.
Yeah.
So
super new journey for me. Like I was so not happy with my life before.
Yeah.
Had to get out from that like dark like place that I was in.
Yeah.
So why not just do something that clearly represents like what I'm all about? You know what I mean? Something that makes you happy. And I actually started YouTube not too long ago. I feel like it was kind of hard for me to like get started on that, but I don't know. I followed you like and saw that you were really into it, and like we're from the same hometown, and
literally.
I love your content, and I don't know. I'm very like empowered by it. So I myself was like, okay, like let me get on my grind. Like we are gonna get out of the mud from St. Charles. Okay,
get us up out of here.
Yes, get us up out of here.
I love it. Yeah, I'll link your YouTube then too. Period.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm excited that we're finally getting to collab because she's dope. She's doing a lot. We talked and now we're doing it, and so I'm excited. Yeah. It's gonna be good. So let's kind of hop into it. And if you're okay with it, kind of letting us know what your upbringing was like, just kind of like in general.
Yeah. So. I mean, okay, are we getting crazy
Girl,
or deep? Like what?
I mean, whatever you feel is right, we gonna talk about it.
So I grew up like super normal, like life at first, pretty average kid. Like I go to school, play sports, my dad's my coach, like I have friends, whatever. And I myself didn't really have a problem like with my parents, but my older siblings, I was the youngest. So I thought.
Oh, hello. Okay.
For a long, long time.
I feel like there's a little bit of tea behind that.
Get the tea out.
Okay. I mean...
Yeah, okay. So, so I'm the youngest. Didn't really get into it with my parents a whole lot, but I had older siblings who were a little is the word adolescent. Like,
Okay.
they just, a little rebellious. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, high school kids go to parties and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And my parents were just not having it. Like,
Okay.
a lot of fighting in the house. Like, just kind of making the kids, like, choose between, like, mom, dad, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
And so, whatever, that was, like, normal for me at first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in 8th grade,
Oh, God.
okay?
Okay.
And I'm at home. My mom is at work. She worked night shifts. My dad is out of town on a guy's trip. I'm home alone, okay?
Okay.
And this girl had been messaging me on Facebook. Mind you, I was 8th grade, shouldn't have been having Facebook. I know, Mom, I'm sorry. I would be making all the social medias accounts. I've been TMZ since I was born, okay? Like, I gotta have the social medias.
Yes.
And this girl was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I used to live down the street from you, like, years ago. Back in the day. I'm like, oh, there was a girl that lived down the street from me. It could be her. Yeah, fine. I'm gonna say it's you. Hi, how are you? Like, she's asking me how I've been, like, how my parents are. And then out of nowhere, she's like,
Getting juicy.
hey, can you call me real quick? I'm like, call you? Okay. I called this girl. No supervision. I could not be left by myself.
Okay.
I called this girl, and she's like, I got something to tell you. We are sisters, and we've got the same dad. I hung up the phone.
What? Like, time out. How you just gonna come up out of nowhere and tell me this? Okay, so that's T.
T.
So you thought. And
Thought.
not the youngest.
So I hang up.
Okay.
Girl, why'd she call me back?
Sorry.
Call me back. Don't hang up. Like, my name's Haley. We have the same dad. I'm like, girl, mind you, I already had a sister, like, in my home, my own house, named Haley. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I have a sister named Haley, girl, and a dad. And she goes, no, like, your dad is not Tom, who is my dad that I grew up with. Your dad is not Tom. His name is Randy. I said, who's Randy? Girl, I got a whole different dad.
You're like, what's happening?
Literally like
what's
a movie.
Going on?
Like a movie. This girl was crazy, like, sending me all of these pictures of me and, like, her and, like, my real dad.
Jeez.
And so, yeah, isn't that pretty nuts? Like,
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
I grew up, like, thinking I just had this whole life and everything.
Right.
And then I found out, like, no,
Not
over
at all.
Facebook. What?
Y'all. Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's a
other
whole
life.
shabam. That's
So,
a whole
yeah.
thing.
And, like, I don't know. It was just very traumatic. And I just think, like, with my family just not, like, bringing this all up with, like, not to say to be truthful with us, but just to make things better for our situations. Like, I don't want to have to go through that whenever I'm a parent, and, like, I don't want my kids to feel the way that I was feeling, or, like, having to find that kind of stuff out, you know, because, like, it does, like, it changes someone's, like, thought process, like, especially with being so young, and then growing up, like, it's traumatic, you know?
Yeah, like, some random person is just kind of telling you about your life. It's kind of like, wait, what's going on? And I think it's really important to, like, have that relationship with your parents, you know what I'm saying? And regardless of what the situation is or what exactly, you know, is going on, I think it just, in the long run, really helps prepare your kids for handling, you know what I'm saying, uncomfortable things, or being able to, like, talk through and understand what's going on without it being sugar-coated or hidden, because then it does come to light and it's like, wait, like, what? Like, what does that mean? And I had, like, I had kind of, like, a similar thing, and I guess my parents really didn't have much to do with it, but I don't know my biological father. And I had a friend that I grew up with, and she literally came knocking on the door, and, I mean, mind you, we've been hanging out, like, I've known her for a hot minute, and she's like, I think your dad's dating my aunt. I'm like,
girl, what?
First of all, how do you know? I don't even know my daddy. So how do you know my daddy?
How do you know him?
How do you know?
Like, are you sure?
Like, literally. And so I just remember that night. And I mean, I've never met him. Like, even till this day, like, I don't know who he is. So me being, like, 5th, 6th grade, and someone just being like, hey, I know your dad.
Yeah.
It was just weird. And I don't know why I was so emotional.
Well, just being
at that
so
time.
young, like, you don't even know how to respond to that kind of thing.
Yeah, I literally was like, okay. Have you seen that TikTok trend with the with Jay-Z's song?
No.
OJ, like, I'm not black, I'm OJ.
No.
Says, okay. It's a trend. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay.
If you guys have seen that, like, that's literally how I felt. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know what you want me to say to that. But, it was just kind of one of those weird things. And I think that happens a lot more than we think it does. Or it's like just random stuff you don't talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is like random stuff that you don't talk about. So you like
never speak on.
Like if it happens to you, like when that happened to me, I just would have not thought that something like that. Like the story gets way more deeper. Like if we go into it, girl, we go into it.
Yeah.
But like I know I've met other people who have like had those same situations happen, and like I don't know, it's like nice to talk about it like with them, and like I don't know, it's just almost like team building or something. Like what are you gonna do better? Like. Like, whenever you're older, like, and I talk about what I'm going to do better, like, or not better, but, like, what I think I can do different, like, as an adult, and, like, trying to bring, I don't know, kids into the world, and just, but I know, again, shit happens.
It does. It's true that.
Shit happens. But,
for sure.
I don't know, you think, like, it's a thing that can be broken? What do you think?
I do feel like, I think anyone could probably take their circumstances or situations that they've been in, and maybe... kind of reevaluate how they would do things. I think that's real. And I think just from that situation, like you said, you would rather not hide that kind of thing from your kids. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's something you learned, and kind of same here. Like, I'd rather everything be out on the table. And
yeah. Like, I would have rather it been out on the table just because, like, the dad... Okay. So the dad that I, like, did grow up with all my life, who obviously was not my real dad, like... he's still my dad. Like, he adopted me and everything when I was younger. Like, between him and my mom, and I just didn't know, like, whatever. And it kind of, like, tore us apart. Like, after just finding out the way I did. Yeah. And, like, not just because I thought, oh, he's not my dad. Because, like, he is my dad. That, like, Tom Leach.
Period.
He's my dad, homie.
Period.
I love my dad. I do.
Absolutely.
But it just kind of it just shifted our relationship a little bit. Made it kind of, I don't know, not... completely different, but awkward. Yeah. Almost.
And I could imagine. Yeah. I could imagine that, or could see why. Yeah. And it's just kind of unfortunate because it really didn't have to happen. Right. Maybe if things were different, or maybe if you already knew from the jump, maybe it wouldn't have kind of been like that. Which I totally understand. And that's one thing I'm like happy. I'm happy my mom has always been transparent with my biological father as far as like what happened and why he's not around, because now I'm more at peace with it, and
especially being grown and like more understanding the situation.
So it's like I've always known what it was, and when I was age appropriate, you know what I'm saying, to know what happened. But I'm grateful to have a man in my life, my sister's dad, who raised me since I was like 3 or 4. So again, like I consider him my dad.
Same situation with me, yeah.
And honestly, my mom remarried, and my stepdad now, a great man. Like, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? So, even just the little stuff, It
is crazy, though, how it does, like, don't you feel like it worked out for the better that he probably wasn't around?
No, absolutely. Yeah. And what's crazy? I guess this is kind of more of a storytime podcast, but I'm honestly here for it.
Switch the shifts.
I'm literally here for it because...
I think we might have...
We're going to go with that.
Okay, we're going to go with that.
We're going to go with the storytime podcast, and I'll call it another name later.
We just changed it up in the whole middle of what was supposed to be.
I mean, but I feel like it's just like, it's real. Like, we're being very real about it, and I think there's probably a lot of people that can actually relate. Yeah. But... what was crazy is I started dancing in high school, and then I found like a dance studio to dance at when I was like 17. And then I moved to California when I was 19. So I had all these mentors and all these guys that I knew here in the dance industry. And then I moved to California and found a video of my dance studio getting painted like right when it opened. And the person who did it was actually my biological father. So it was crazy because he did all the artwork in that studio, like, everywhere. And it was just, like, he actually turned out to be really great friends, I think, with my mentor. He, like, tatted up one of my homeboys. He, like, literally did his whole tattoo sleeve. And it's just, like, these are people I was with, like, every day of my life, like, throughout junior and senior year.
Small world, you know what I'm saying?
So weird. But, of course, they kind of asked, like, if I wanted his contact, and I was like, no. I feel like I'm just at a point where I'm, like, I'm okay. And I'm grateful to have 2 father figures in my life that have always cared for me and loved me and taken care of me. So I feel like, for me,
you shouldn't have to be the one to want... Yeah. I mean, like, not saying, like, if you want to reach out to, like, your biological mom, dad, whatever, like, totally cool. But with that situation, like,
yeah,
I don't know, I just think, why would you want to reach out? Like, if he didn't want to reach out,
you know,
for you, and then, like, girl, look at you, like, on the come up.
Okay,
like,
let him know.
You know? And
yeah.
he's gonna see that.
Look, so be it.
Lucked out.
Honestly. But, you know, I think all in all, I mean, we're just kind of talking about, like, biological parents a lot right now, but I think a lot of people, especially, like, in our generation, experiences that and doesn't have, you know, certain mother or father figures in their life.
Right.
Which I think is, like, it's just unfortunate, but that's why you just really have to count your blessings and just kind of, like, really
Absolutely.
look at the good things in life. You know what I'm saying? So anyone could probably look at my situation and be like, literally, like, still, like, you don't know who your dad is. And I'm like, no.
You're going to be getting messages like, girl, you might want to find that out.
And I'm over here like, no, you know, like, I'm just grateful for what is. Like, it is what it is. But it's just so funny how I feel like all of us experience very, I guess I could say uncomfortable things as kids. Like, you just don't really know how to handle situations or what to, like, do about them in the moment. Kind of like really your story and mine. And I think no matter what, you can always take that and learn from it and implement that into however you decide to raise, like, your family and kids, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What would be something you would recommend or maybe tips you would give to someone who maybe didn't have the best upbringing themselves, but wants better for themselves and maybe, like,
no, you can't.
Family?
I think excuses are such a big thing, I feel like, for some people who do come from just, like, a not so well upbringing, and they're like, oh, I'm never gonna amount to this because I was raised like this, or they just play the blame game. And, like, I get it, like, feeling sorry for yourself and just, like, being sad, like, if you were stuck in that kind of situation, but, like, you cannot dwell on it. Like, if you dwell on it, I mean, like, 5 years go by, you have not changed one thing about your life. 10 years go by, you have not changed one thing about your life.
Crazy
like,
to even think about. Like,
no, I mean, and then you're just miserable forever. And, like, not saying it's too late for anyone to ever turn their life around, because I don't believe it's ever too late.
Yeah.
But for some people, they believe for themselves, it's just too late for me to ever turn my life around. And I know people like that, unfortunately, and it's just so sad to, like, see that they just think because of where they came from, they aren't going to amount to anything.
Yeah.
But you better get up and get that grind. Like, and I know, like, hard work sucks. Like, getting up for work sucks. And the more, I mean, it doesn't suck because, like, you want to get up, you want to work for what you want to do. Like, you want to work for that money.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you want to stay on that grind. But, you know, you're tired, you're overworked, you're doing it every day, like, but if you keep at it, like, eventually something good is gonna come from it. But if you don't believe in it, like, if you don't even believe in yourself, like, nobody else is gonna believe in you.
Facts.
So no one's gonna want to give you chances or, like, believe in that you are capable of what you could possibly be capable of, because
100%.
you're just, like, dwelling on it.
Yeah.
So that, my big thing is, like, I be on my grind. Like, I stay on my grind. Like, I work hard. Like, on the clock, off the clock.
Yeah.
Always trying to, like, figure out a way to, like, get my life better. Not just for me, but for my future family. Because just after, like, living through something, you know, you want to make sure, just like every other parent, though, you know, like, that your kid is brought up, like, you know, in a good, like, headspace and home space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I like that you said excuses, because I think that really is the biggest thing, and it's very easy with anything to just find a reason not to do it, or
especially
not
when
to
you're
get
sad,
better.
and,
Especially
like,
when you're especially when you're, like, hurting inside. But, like, I tell you, like, once you shift that mindset, like, literally, I'm the same way. I feel like anything seriously is possible. And I've seen it myself. My mom, definitely very rough upbringing, like, really rough. And it's like, she shifted gears and she did what the hell she had to do, and now she's living well, she's happily married, and 2 beautiful babies.
Girl, yeah.
But, you know, like, it's just very possible. And I will say, like, she's my role model in that sense, because she broke her own curse in a way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, excuses, like, you just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to look at wherever you want to be and, like, look at that as motivation and what's going to get you where you need to go.
Right.
So
And,
I
like,
agree.
like, if you don't want to be successful, that's fine, but, like...
True. I mean, you don't have to be.
Yeah, you don't have to be, but, like, I'm trying to be.
I'm trying to be successful. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So, thank you so much for joining me. Like, this has been a moment I actually really have been waiting to do this for a hot minute. So.
We've been talking about it for months.
For months, like, and it just did not happen, and it finally did. So, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And just chopping it up with me. Like, this was fantastic. Make sure you guys follow Carly and subscribe to her YouTube. I will have them linked below, and make sure you guys keep an eye out on my IG story for the next topic poll. Get your votes in. We got some tea coming.
Yes.
Period. And I'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.